Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com.
You label me before I speak. Build your story piece by piece.
Okay, so over the last few months, I've been posting on other people's videos about avoidance, and the question that I've been posting is, what is it about avoidance that make us fall so deeply in love with them? And the surprising answer is no one has answered it, and I finally figured out what it is. I did a simple Google search, and I said, do avoidance fall in love, or can avoidance fall in love? And so just before I Googled that, there was a video that stimulated that question, and the video essentially mentioned it without even making the connection to this is why we fall so deeply in love. I'm going to try to Google it and see if I can find the same answer. If not, I'm just going to go from the top of my head. Okay, so I couldn't find it, but I did find something interesting. So here was the answer from the top of my head that it gave me. It was essentially that in the beginning stages, an avoidant, I wrote this down, let me find the right word. So an avoidant becomes infatuated with someone. And so essentially they are, like a high emotions about this person, and it's intense. Okay, wait a minute. I actually made a video about this. It's not about why they fall or why we fall in love with them, but it was the answer to this video. So let me actually I'm going to find that clip. I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to first read off the Google response. The music volume will go down in about 50 seconds. Okay, so here's what I found just a few seconds ago. Essentially, I posted the question was, can avoidance fall in love? And a Reddit thing popped up, and just one sentence says, avoidants are literally programmed to have one foot out the door at all times. Love is not possible in that scenario. Well, I don't know about the second part, but I do know about the first part, one foot out the door at all times. So then here's the AI overview. It says, when an avoidant falls in love, they often experience intense internal conflict, wanting connection but fearing vulnerability, leading to a push-pull dynamic where they show love through actions.
I'm not sorry that I stand right here.
Okay, this is interesting. This is going to lead me to the 5 love languages. Okay, so let me finish this here. So it says, leading to a push-pull dynamic where they show love through actions, and then it has in parentheses, practical help making time rather than words, and might create distance to recharge after closeness, okay? All while struggling to articulate needs or trust fully due to ingrained self-reliance from childhood. Okay, so one of the key components of an avoidant is at a young age, they had to rely on themselves. Their parents weren't there for them. And not only that, but their parents always punished them in one way or another, sometimes severely, for opening up emotionally. That was not acceptable. It was considered weak. They were verbally told that that's weak. Now here's the funny thing. An avoidant will tell you, oh, you're weak, if you show any kind of emotional openness. So it's kind of not just a funny thing, but it's kind of a typical thing, like a narcissist. They treat people the way that they were treated that they didn't like. So now an avoidant is essentially repeating the cycle that the parent did to them. So because they weren't loved, they weren't supported emotionally, and they didn't get help, etc., they learned at a young age that it was all about them. It was all about self-reliance and independence. And anything that threatens that will cause them to run. And guess what threatens them to essentially stop being strong? Because it's all about, you got to be strong, got to be cold, no emotions, emotionless. And if they start to fall in love with you, now here's the thing, like me, I'm an empath, I'm a very loving, now here's the funny thing, I'm a tough son of a bitch. I was boxing champion, kickboxing champion, wrestling, football, martial arts since I was 4 years old, and on and on. I used to train professional boxers and kickboxers and high school wrestlers, etc. But I'm a very soft person emotionally. So I have this softness about me with, I guess you call a hard shell around it. Actually, I think in my case, because I'm so comfortable with myself, I come across as very soft when you talk to me, but there's a hardness inside me if you ask for it. When people first meet me, like, whoa, that dude looks tough. It's because I've been in Army, airborne infantry. Everything I've done was this really tough, just hardened kind of thing. So when you see me, like, whoa, that guy's tough. But then when I talk, like, oh, he's a softie. But the funny thing is, people get lulled by that because I'm a super nice guy. But there's another side to me that has been built up over decades and decades. It's still there. You don't want it to come out. That's where narcissists make their biggest mistake with me is they think, oh, he's just a nice guy. See, narcissists see everything. It's either A or it's B. It can't be both. Well, that's not true about humans at all. Humans are both strong and soft. Especially me. And I think the thing that fools narcissists, and it's not meant to fool anyone, is I've done so much healing work, so much therapy. I feel very, very comfortable with myself. So I let my soft side show because I like to make people feel comfortable. Narcissists assume, oh, he's a weak person, and then they start to attack, and then the other side of me comes out, and they're like, oh, whoa, 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 shit. And the look in their face is like, how did I miss that? So here's the deal. When it comes to avoidance, if you show softness, they will basically disrespect you because that's the way they were taught. Like, oh, that's weakness. Love is weakness. Now, here's the other part. The reason why their foot is halfway out the door is because it's like on the one hand, they absolutely want to be loved. They want to love and be loved and fall in love and all that stuff. Like they want it more than you and I because they've never had it since they were born. So they desperately want it and need it. But the problem is when they finally start falling in love and opening up emotionally, they run. Because to them, that means they're going to have to rely on you, which means they lose their self-reliance. Okay, to them, they're terrified of losing that because no one's been there for them in the past. They've always been on their own, relied on their own. If they rely on you and you leave, it's like they feel like they're weak and now they can't take care of themselves. So falling in love to them it feels soft and therefore it's labeled as, well, this must be weak and I can't go down that path because then I'll become weaker and weaker and then I won't be able to survive. Now here's the answer to my actually it's probably been 4 months now, long question of why do we fall so deeply in love with avoidance? It's like it made no sense to me. Especially in my case, she wasn't my type. It wasn't the typical kind of person I would date or go out with. And there was a lot of other things, but I noticed like, man, I just really fell in love with this person. Now go ahead and listen to the clip. This clip is from my video. Here it is right here. Why dealing with avoidance hurts so bad, deep emotional heartbreak. Okay, here's the clip for that. And this is the answer to my question, why do we fall so deeply in love with avoidance? And really what it is people that deal with avoidance, I mean, it's like you have so much fun. In the very beginning, they basically, here's why. Avoidance, so I Googled something, essentially said avoidance, let's see if I can find it real quick. So essentially avoidance, in the beginning, they're infatuated with you because I think someone said, can avoidance fall in love? And essentially said in the beginning, avoidance, here it is right here. Can dismissive avoidance fall in love? It says dismissive avoidance might develop infatuation quickly, but real emotional connection, that takes much longer. And it goes on and on and on about, all the problems and the challenges and, dealing with their emotions and feelings and all that stuff. But the infatuation is so powerful. And it is so fun. It is so amazing. It's like, whoa, like this is the best relationship I've ever had, or best dating experience, or what do you want to call it. And then the minute they start to open up, puff the magic dragon, they are gone. For the average person that is connected to their heart and emotions, that's like ripping your soul out. That's like ripping your heart out. So that's the answer I've been looking for a long time now is... when I read that, I thought, yep, that's exactly what happened. In the very beginning, it was a blast. It was fun. And the movement was all forward. It was, And the key word is infatuated. They initiated a lot of things. It wasn't just it was the energy, the emotions. They were so intense, so passionate that you're like, whoa, this person is like really, really into me. And then boom, it's done. They're gone. You know, there is a parallel. It's on the other side of the fence, though. Narcissists, when they first meet you, it may not be an emotional, passionate thing, but it is, you just get along so well with them. It's like everything seems great, like everything just works. And it's the same thing with avoidant when it comes to emotional relationship stuff. And that's the funny thing, because we're talking about avoidance, who avoid that, is the beginning part is like everything just falls in place. Every date is awesome. Every experience is amazing. And then, boom, the minute they open up, it's over. Now, here's the other thing. It's right when you start to open up to them, like really, because for me, I was just kind of watching this from a distance, and I was kind of like, man, it's kind of going fast. This is too good to be true, and I should have listened. And I did listen to that, and I kind of kept my distance emotionally. But there just came a point in time, like, man, this is just really working. I'm going to go with it. And boom, that's when they pull the cord. It's the emotional infatuation that causes them to basically do everything right. It's not doing everything right, but just putting the effort into the relationship. They really, really do. You know, this reminds me of what I said about Narcissist, about the love bombing phase that they put you through, and is this. So narcissists are their own worst enemy. They always screw themselves over, and you'll see video after video of doctors and experts and even narcissists saying, yeah, watch a narcissist towards the end of his life, he's completely screwed it up. He's gotten rid of the best people that in his life that could have improved his business, improved his life, his career, and they destroy them. They attack them, and then next thing you know, that person's gone. Then another one, then another one. They screw over the very people that could make their lives better. And that's one thing about narcissists. Like, and here's the thing I realized, yeah, but they're so good, especially in the first month or two, at connecting with people, getting people to like them. And like, those people should be the most successful people on the planet, period, end of sentence. Their skill set is amazing, but then they have to turn it into negativity, and they have to destroy everything. Now, here's the thing about avoidance. They again, they're not trying to hurt you or damage you. They're trying to protect their heart and themselves and be strong and all that. But avoidance, one thing about them that I've noticed and I've read and I've heard about is they essentially destroy every good relationship they get into. And again, I want to use the word parallel, but on the other side of the fence, with a narcissist, an avoidant has such a skill set at loving people. It is such an amazing experience to go through. And yet they destroy it. They sabotage it, just like a narcissist does when it comes to business and other areas of their life. Now here's the deal. I'm just going to stick with the avoidant. Their strategy for love and loving people and creating this amazing environment is phenomenal. It is top-notch, phenomenal, best in the world. The problem is they have some therapeutic issues which cause them to flip-flop and then sabotage and destroy everything by running, by ghosting, by leaving people on read, like, yep, I'm not going to respond. I mean, it hurts people really bad, and yet the challenge is they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because they feel like this is what I have to do because I'm terrified now and I have to run. From what I understand and what I believe is when it comes to an avoidant, therapy can help them heal from this. So that's it. The reason why you fall so madly in love with avoidance is, number one, the real reason is the infatuation that they have, the energy, the effort, the everything is amazing in the very beginning. It's not just the actions they take, but it's the energy and emotions behind it that you feel, that you experience. It is amazing. It's wonderful. I think the second part is right when you or both of you start to open up, like, and realize, like, hey, I think this is going somewhere. Boom, they're gone. So now you are feeling these amazing emotions. Your heart finally opens it up, and boom, they pull the rug right out from underneath you, and they're gone. They ghost you. And I think that second part, when your heart finally opens up, I think it hurts so bad because you finally opened up to them and you basically surrendered emotionally, and boom, they just left. And I think that is what hurts really bad. And it's just like the narcissist love bombing. After they love bomb you, then they start to breadcrumb you, and you want to go back to that initial love bombing. Well, essentially, this is what avoidants do. Now, avoidants will breadcrumb you if they don't ghost you. They'll basically start to shut down and give you very little attention, just enough to keep you around. So that's it. It's the infatuation phase, and then the airborne, they pull that ripcord and boom, they're out of that plane and they're gone. They're just gone. So essentially, it's that emotion that you get during the infatuation stage. It is just the most amazing thing you'll ever experience, and everything just goes so smoothly that after a while you're like, yeah, this is the one. And then when they pull that ripcord and they're magically, deliciously gone, they ghost you. It hurts because you want to go back to that initial phase. Just like with a narcissist, you're always trying to get them to take you back to the love bombing phase, but they never will. They give you a little breadcrumb here and there, but that's it. Okay, so let's go to the 5 love languages, which I said I would do. So here it is. So number 1, words of affirmation, and then acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Well, what did it say in the first Google thing that I looked up? It says, avoidance, they show love through actions, practical help in making time. So there you have it right there. Acts of service, actions, helping you with stuff, and then time, making time, quality time. And you know, it's funny, that's exactly the way she was. It's like one of the first times we sat down in a coffee shop, I was looking for a place to set my bag, and she looked under the counter. They had those hooks there. She grabbed my bag and she put it under, and then she pulled the chair out for me, and I thought, wow, that was like the kindest thing I think anyone's done for me in a long time. That, for some reason, really touched me. Now I have a, what's the word I'm looking for? I have a theory. I kind of think that the 5 love languages, 1 is empath, 1 is narcissist, and 1's an avoidant. So the avoidant clearly is acts of service and quality time together because they don't want to get too close physically or emotionally. So this is their, I don't want to say disconnected, but you know, like a step back way of showing their love or care for you. Which actually makes sense because they don't want to get close emotionally. So I have a theory. It's an ongoing theory. It's a beginning theory, but I'm kind of starting to think that if I bump into people who have acts of service and or quality time, those are not physically, emotionally close ways of expressing your love. So I have a feeling those are going to be connected to people that have avoidance, and I don't know about narcissists yet. I'm not really sure about that. In fact, I'm not even going to include that right now. Alright, that's it for avoidance. Why do we fall so deeply in love with avoidance? It's the infatuation and the emotion behind it. Alright guys, if you like this video, please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box. And as usual, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.